Hi guys, welcome to Let's Talk Stats. In this video, we will deep dive into the meaning of regression coefficients and how they are related to the fundamental principle of statistical control. So here is our setup. We have a regression equation for a study aimed at predicting weight loss using exercise hours and caloric intake. So we have weight loss equals 10 plus 2 times exercise minus 1.5 times caloric intake. How would you interpret the coefficient for exercise? Well, we are being asked to interpret this number 2, the coefficient for exercise. Well, the standard answer to that question is when exercise goes up by 1 hour, weight loss goes up by 2 kilograms while statistically controlling for caloric intake. In this video, we will unpack this definition. Specifically, we will focus on what this concept really means and how it relates to regression coefficients. So let's get started. Here is a general multiple linear regression setup. We have y, our dependent variable, equals a plus b1 times our first predictor x1 plus b2 times our second predictor x2. Let's see what happens when we increase x1 by 1. At x1 plus 1, we have y equals a plus b1 x1 plus 1 plus b2 x2, which simplifies to this. Now let's see what is the change in y when x1 goes from x1 to x1 plus 1. Well, that is all of this minus all of this. And you can see some of the terms cancel out. And we are left only with b1, our regression coefficient. Well, where does statistical control fit into all of this? Notice that all of this math works out because we did not change x2 when we increased x1 by 1. We held x2 constant. And this brings us to the key concept here, statistical control. Next, let's unpack what this really means. Recall that in our setup, we are trying to predict weight loss using exercise hours and caloric intake. Now think about this. What if someone increases their exercise hours and also decreases their caloric intake at the same time? At the end of the study period, if this person has a weight loss of 5 kgs, would you be able to say how much of it came from increasing exercise and how much from reducing calories? Well, no. This is because exercise confounds the influence of diet, and diet confounds the influence of exercise on weight loss. In an ideal experiment, one would need to hold diet constant in order to figure out how much exercise alone impacts weight loss. And similarly, if we need to figure out how much diet influences weight loss, we will need to hold exercise constant. And this is exactly what the principle of statistical control says. Now, going back, recall that when you run a multiple linear regression, the coefficients are automatically calculated in a way that one of the variables is held constant when you interpret the other. Hence, multiple regression is a way to implement statistical control. I hope now you can make sense of this definition of the regression coefficient of exercise. Hope you found this video useful. If you need any one-on-one help, write to me at anjali@letstalkstats.com. See you next time. Thank you for watching.